Hey everyone, welcome back to Adventure World. So I wanted to make a quick video. I wasn't super happy with how I left things on this because the video got so long. So I wanted to clean up a couple things with the MiniBoss here before we move on to the jetpack and stuff. So let's jump right in and knock this out. So a couple things that bugged me. The biggest thing that bugged me is the player, how he jumped off the top. Actually, pretty much every time, if you jump on top of him while he's going up is you just end up landing on top of him and riding him up, which was not ideal at all. So let's fix that real quick. I found a kind of quick solution to it, and I was happy enough with it, and I think we'll just go with that. One of the things, it's not perfect, but it's better. So one of the things I noticed is these things barely stick out the bottom of his feet. Proportionally, they really only stick out a tiny bit. So what I was doing is I was just extending these rays down to like 18. So I'm just going to copy that, make sure it applies, paste it in here, and there we go. Another thing I thought of is I think you can still get hooked right there, because the ray is actually right there in the center of the ray, and it's like infinitely small, like right there in the center. So to fix that one, what we can do is find the side one. Okay, that's the center one. We'll leave him there. Alright, so this one I'm going to scoot it all the way over to the side there, and you can't hardly see it because of my heart, but I believe that's the very corner of the player. And then what I'm going to do is duplicate it and then bring one back in here. That'll prevent me from having any objects slipping in there. And then the same on the other side. I'm going to scoot that one all the way out to the edge, duplicate it, and bring it back. Now the reason this works without any code changes is because back in our code, down here where we're doing the collision, what we do is we say for each ray in our feet rays, which is this, get all the children, and then check if they're a ray and do that. So we don't have to do any code changes, and all these rays will be checked on for the jump. So hopefully this alone will help a little bit with the player being able to jump on top of the bat there a little bit more reliably. He goes away in 3. That was another small tweak I wanted to make. So if we go into actors, enemy boss, and let's look at the script for that. Let's bump his health up to like 5. That'll make him a little bit more challenging. He's still pretty easy because of the whole bounce attack, but alright. Let's try going up here. Still land on top of him, and I can't even jump off because he's moving up faster than my my jump kind of kicks in because of the way the velocity works. So what we'll do is right here where we're hurting the player, we know that this node right here, this body reference, is to the player. So what I can do is I can access any of the properties on the player and change them. So let's move him up 40 units in the negative Y, which is up direction. That way, when I jump on him, I'm actually triggering him to jump up higher, and you kind of see I bounce a little bit off from him. But that's okay, because now I'm stuck. Let me restart that. Let's wait for him to come over here. Now what will happen is he'll jump a little higher off from him, preventing him from getting stuck on top. Now I can still get myself stuck up here if I stay on top of him, but that's a smaller problem to solve later. A couple more quick things. Let's see. Yeah, so I wanted to make the bat move a little bit faster. That's easy. We have a move speed right here. We can just change that to say 4. That'll make him move just a little bit touch faster. Also, notice right there he's flying backwards. That looks a little goofy, so let's fix that. So we need to know, now the difference here is we don't know, because of this path, we're not directing him with a velocity, so we don't really know which direction he's moving. So we need to figure out which direction he's moving. And to do that, it's not too hard. What we can say is var last position, and we'll just set this to something. It needs to be a vector 2, and we'll just set it to 0, 0. What we're setting it to initially doesn't really matter much, just that it has a value so things don't blow up. Now right here in the physics process, what we can do is say if last position dot x, because we don't really care about the y direction for which way he's facing. So if his last position is greater than, and we want to know his position now, so I could say position dot x. So if it's greater than that, what that means is let's say less than x. So what that means is his position now is further this way, so going this way, than it was the last time we ran this process. So the last, and these will be really small numbers, but any difference here should catch. So if he's going this way, then what we want to do is make sure he's facing in the right hand direction. So what we can do is set the animated sprite property, and remember it has that flip h, and we'll set that to false. Okay, and then otherwise we want to flip it back the other way, so we'll flip it to true. Alright, now the only there's two small things here that we need to fix. One, we need to make sure we set last position, because otherwise it'll never change from that initial value. So we say last position equals position. Alright, so now each frame after, and it's important that this is after, because if we did it before, then they would be the same, right? Always be the same. But because it's after, that means it'll check this stuff first, and then it'll assign that last position in there. Alright, and if we needed it further down here, we would need to move this down, but I'm trying to keep it all together since that's all it's used for right now. Now we'll notice here that it's not working. He's facing right, but when he goes back, I don't think he'll turn back the other way. Yeah, he doesn't. So the reason for that is if you look at the way we set this up right here, so the bat is a child of this path follow node, which is a child of the path 2D node. And the way these paths work, this path will stay right here, okay? And it just stores these positions of where to go. This path follow node, what it does is it moves this node along this path while this parent stays still, and then anything under it will move with it. So this bat boss, we're not actually moving the bat. What we're doing is moving its parent, this path follow, and then the bat is being drug along with it because it's a child of that path follow node. So in other words, the position of the enemy bat boss is not changing, and we could do a print statement on the bat here to look at the position, and you'd notice, well, let's go ahead and do it. We'll just print the position x, and it should just be 0. Well, it's 12 or something. And that's probably the offset of where in the scene here, it's probably the offset of where it is based on the start of the node or something. So what we need to do instead of the position is we need the global position. So that'll be, regardless of what all these parents say, this is just the position that it is in the world, and we need to make sure and change it back up here as well. And this should work. So he's flying. Whoop. I think we got our signs wrong. My bad. Guess I had it right the first time. Alright, so anyways, he flies down and works correctly. And the reason he's looking a little funky there and faces back the other way is because of the way that line is angled. So if we came back here and looked at this, see how that line is just ever so slightly angled one way, and the same over here. So we're going to fix that, and this is kind of unintentional. I did this separately, and I did it first when I was testing. What I'd like to do is, this is very, I don't know, boring, and so let's spice this up a little bit. instead of doing one line that's straight, let's make multiple that are kind of curvy. So I'm going to put this one here, and then another one up here, one down here, one up here, another one down here. Let's fly over there, and then let's fly back up and land there. And I'm going to come back here and I'm going to adjust a couple of these. I'm going to go like that, pull this one back a little bit, this one back, this one back. There we go. Alright, so wherever this ending thing is where he'll stop. So you could either make him stop up there, or I think it'd be kind of neat for him to hang a little lower right there. So let's try that. Let's give this a shot and see how it looks, and we can test out the direction. So there you notice he's flying a little bit more naturally, and he's facing the direction that we want him to. I think that looks a lot better. We've got a little bit more natural feeling jump attack. It's a little bit less finicky. We've got our boss is taking a little, ooh, hit him on the side there. That was my bad. And we're not getting stuck on him as much. I think this is a lot better. And I hope this was helpful. And hopefully soon I can make the jetpack video as well as the door. And we'll continue on with this game. Thanks for watching. Bye.